Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street, in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private, blockchain companies, the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators, bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go.
My name is Kelly Walters. I'm the CEO of the VRM BioLogik group. I have been in the role for 4 years, and my responsibility ultimately is to honour the vision of the founder and president and implement the company's goal, or mission rather, which is restoring 25% of the world's arable land in 25 years. My first exposure to humus soil was in a landfill site in the Southern Highland area in New South Wales in Australia. I remember going down there in business clothes to make sure that this project was operating well, and the guys handed me a pair of oversized gumboots and said, "Go have a play." I remember digging my hands into this pile of material. It was clean, it smelt rich, it smelt like the earth, and it made me feel good just standing there looking at it. I knew it had come from green waste, food waste, and a whole lot of icky stuff that people don't normally like to deal with. And here I was standing there with it in my hand thinking I could actually grow something with this. It was just an absolutely astounding product as far as I was concerned, and I have been playing with it ever since. It doesn't stop in terms of me just wanting to get my hands into the humus soil wherever we are in the world, whoever is manufacturing it. It is such a revolutionary product to be able to replace fertiliser, to be able to not have any kind of chemical impact on the earth going forward, to be able to grow clean, healthy food for future generations. Yeah, it's just astonishing. I could not have ever imagined I would be in this position.
So that one there, there is no other process. There's no other process. There is no other process converting organics that doesn't have a net carbon emission. We don't care about the organic material, we care about what it does. Where it goes, it adds a thing called hydrosynthesis. Now that's a real fancy word, and you can take a photograph of that because I made it up. It's a brand new word in the English language, it didn't exist before. Biological hydrosynthesis that's a word used to describe the process of water manufacture that didn't exist before. Hydrogen plus oxygen equal water. The mechanism for making water is to find some guy who mixes those two things well. We found the guy. We trained them, we got to know them, we made friends with them. We used your pile of organic material to have a party for these guys. When they have a party, they make water. And they don't make water just while you are in process, they make it for years afterwards, which is what you found. Years afterwards. They make it wherever you deliver that to. Our objective is to improve the fact of and the future of growing food on 25% of the world's arable land. But this is point number one, is that we learnt how to trigger this natural reaction everywhere, in any type of soil, in any altitude, in any climate, in any temperature, in any weather.
It was really serendipitous, the expansion of VRM into the US, us looking for a partner, a business that we could work with who had the same philosophy, who had the same value system, and along came SGTM and Tony and Tammy. The first couple of conversations, of course, this happened sort of just post-COVID, so we weren't able to travel outside of Australia. We've been talking to Tony on screen for 6 months, so we just met him yesterday. To actually stand in front of he and Tammy, to spend the whole day with them talking about how aligned we are in our mission, it's just such a pleasure and an honour to be able to come to the US and to work with SGTM and the team.
From the very first meeting that we had, I think it was about midnight, because in Australia we're in a completely different time zone. It's past my bedtime, but boy did I ever wake up. And I wasn't able to go back to sleep. And the next day I got together with Brian and I said, man, what I listened to in this download was so incredible. And we just kept on working together, one Zoom meeting after another. And now that we've actually formed a partnership and we're working together, we want to make sure that we get Humisoil in every household across the nation and every Caribbean island. And for us to do our part from the U.S. to work together. And that partnership to us is definitely sustainability in its finest, bringing together technology, taking waste that normally would be releasing carbons in the atmosphere and taking everything back and within itself, creating life. That's sustainability for our future.
That this process is built on stimulating photosynthesis which is in the ground, not photosynthesis which is above the ground in the plants and the trees. A whole nother kingdom on the planet that exists everywhere. And one key feature of that group is that they mobilise phosphorus. It's a key feature. So every time you make Humisoil, you'll end up with a percentage of phosphorus in the organic material close to 1%. So when you put a yard of Humisoil out on the ground, you're putting out 1% of that yard is straight fertiliser.
Well, the concept itself of wanting to feed the world, it's a very lofty goal. So how many people are there in the world now? Billions. We are a small team of people. We're not going to be able to do that, to achieve any kind of change, to engage and empower, unless we all do it together. That's the whole idea. I think that we, with our partners all over the world, are going to make a significant impact. We're going to save lives. We're going to save generations. It's as simple as that. I think that if we continue in the same path that we're going, then we can correct a lot of the damage that's been done in the past. We'll be able to ensure that at the very least, this generation's done its best to make sure that the next couple of generations enjoy life.
Here we are, and this great revolutionary technology breakthrough, and we're going to grow water. Come on, who can say they're growing water? I love it.
Soil organic matter offers several added benefits. It filters and cleans water, enhances water retention and storage, mitigates the impact of extreme weather, and improves soil structure to produce more feed, fiber, and food. Less land, less water, less energy, and fewer nutrient inputs. New biodiversity, carbon, and water markets are emerging, producing goods that enhance human and environmental health.
Welcome to New to the Streets Unstoppable Show with me, co-host Rhonda Swan.
See you.
And then also Jonas Muthoni, the CEO and founder of Deviate Agency.
Thank you for having
Great
me.
to have you back.
Yeah.
Tell us about Deviate. Give us an overview of what it is that you do.
Yeah, so Deviate is an online marketing agency that helps brands increase and dominate their online space. So basically, think of a company that's trying to penetrate or already in the online space. So our job is to come in there and find ways to get them to increase their market share within the online marketing field. Yeah.
Jonas, what's the best strategy for dominating the competition?
I think it's just understanding what your strengths are as a company. So instead of focusing on competition, right, you want to focus on how you can really define your company to be able to establish some sort of authority, a narrative, right? Mm-hmm. Because once you do that, then you're building the best product, and once you build the best product, then it's easier for acquisition. So you know, a lot of companies, and if I give an example here, so when you think about the airlines, right? So most of these airlines are play to play. Right, so if you think of Southwest, when they came into the market, right, they wanted to. Their focus was just these short flights, yeah, and to making sure that they're always flying, because they only make money when the plane is in the air. So as the other companies were thinking about play to play, Southwest was thinking about a strategy on how they're going to win, and obviously Southwest flies the most miles nationwide than any other flight, because their flights are always 24/7 in the air.
Yeah. No, they've done pretty well.
Yeah, so it's just identifying what are your strengths. You know, if we even use a soccer team, right? So some soccer teams play by possession, others play by defense, and others play by offense. So you want to just have a strategy where you're able to pick a field where you want to play, and then think of what competencies and what resources and mechanisms are needed to actually win in that field.
Very interesting. Thank you so much, Jonas.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Great to have you.
All right.
Here at Grove Token, we're growing a greener future. Thousands of financially savvy and environmentally conscious people are already joining the Grove movement. With real-world payment options, ability to earn passive income, and an eco-conscious business model, you'll be creating opportunities to do good for the planet while doing good for your wallet. Be part of a healthier future. Grove Token, a crypto like no other.
Glint Pay is an app and also a gold-based payment system. And with me to explain how it all works, CEO Jason Cozens, to talk about, let's just start with how it works, and then I want to get into some macroeconomic things with you about gold and what we're seeing in the world. But just explain Glint Pay and how it works.
Well, we're the first company in the world to enable gold as money, as everyday money. And with the Glint app and MasterCard, you can effectively put yourself on your own personal gold standard. So with the app, you can buy gold, you can save it, you can send it to other people who have accounts, you can spend it using the Glint MasterCard. So you literally can pay with anything. I really want to get this across. You can use gold as money every day. It's a kind of gold-based alternative to a bank. You can buy a flight to anywhere in the world. You can pay for your hotel. You can even pay for your underground ticket. Anything in the world you can normally buy with a MasterCard, you can now pay with gold. And so, it's why would you want to do that as well? You're protecting yourself from inflation and from systemic risk, etc.
Now, I've seen you use it at restaurants, and it works just like a credit card.
It does, well, except it's debit, and there's no credit involved.
Right. But you just give it to the server, and they run it, and it works.
Hey presto, you've just spent some gold. We've made gold into an everyday currency, one that can participate in electronic payments alongside all other currencies.
Okay, and let's just talk about gold in general, because we've always heard gold is a great inflation hedge. It's a safe haven when the world is in turmoil, which feels like we are. Explain why this is important for people to know.
Well, I woke up in 2008. I mean, I don't know how many of your viewers were there in 2008 watching the world come to the brink of financial system collapse. And it was the first time that I realized that your money in the bank is not a risk-free deposit of funds. You put that money in the bank, it ceases to be yours, it's lent out to companies sometimes you'd rather not be lending your money to. It becomes a liability on the bank's balance sheet. They owe that money to you. So first of all, if there's any problem within the system, that money's not yours. It might not be there when you need it. Okay, God forbid we ever end up in another 2008 crisis, but look at the world around us. I think people are starting to think, actually, how reliable is my banking system? How reliable is the place where I store my money? And in 2008, I also started thinking about money itself. Why is it that it depreciates in so much? And back then, you know, inflation might have been running consistently at a kind of 2% basis. And for me, that was bad enough. I found out that the dollar had lost more than 85% of its purchasing power in my lifetime. So let's just say that again, 85% of its purchasing power in your lifetime. It's become nearly worthless. So, you know, for me, that's not a good solution for money. And I woke up to that and thought, I've got to create change. I reckon I can find a better way. And I learned that gold has been the form of best store of value that we've ever had and continues to be. It still buys you what it did 2,000 years ago, never mind 50. Its purchasing power in my lifetime has gone up 500%. And you know, if we could surely turn that into a form of money that can participate today, after all, it did back the US dollar until 1971, then why shouldn't we do it? Central banks still use it as the currency of last resort, and that's what our technology has done.
Thank you so much, Jason.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Out of control inflation, escalating government debt, gas and energy bills burning through your savings, and a spiraling war in Europe. The world feels like a very uncertain place right now, and it's harder and harder to take control of your money and safeguard your savings. I mean, why would anyone want to keep their money in a bank that's only going to lend it out for its own profit? Putting your savings at risk, and for what? A pittance in interest? Well, let me tell you about Glint and how they can help you to save in real gold you can spend like dollars. Now, first off, Glint's not a bank or crypto or some new type of credit card. What Glint provides is the ability and freedom to buy, save, and spend real allocated gold that's secured in Brink's vaults and insured by Lloyd's of London. Glint's Smart app and MasterCard is leading the payments revolution, putting you in control of your money by making real gold, trusted for thousands of years, into an instant, secure digital currency for the modern world. Best of all, your gold is always your gold. It's no one else's liability. It's secure and allocated to you. It never goes away, even in a crash. To learn more, go to glintpay.com or download Glint from your favorite app store. It's time to take control of your money and protect it with the time-tested security of gold and the modern digital convenience of Glint. Gold is security. Glint, it's key.
Secure is a platform for messaging, email that provides a secure way for people to do business. And with me is the CEO, Alon Giyahi, to talk about everything going on with the cybersecurity and what Secure does. But I have to ask you first about the breaking news of Kanye West is buying Parler.
Yes.
So, first of all, what are your initial thoughts when you heard that?
Well, it's interesting because there's been a lot going on with Kanye West lately. Then you have also Elon Musk buying Twitter potentially.
Right. Yeah.
So I think there's a trend now to counter what we're going to call just big tech or more progressive type of platforms. And there's definitely a need. You know, we have a reseller in the US that we're going to start with, and they call this economy the Patriot economy. Now, I'm not coining it and saying that.
First time
yeah,
today.
it's kind of like, and actually I was reading an article on Bloomberg about how there's Patriot Mobile, and T-Mobile is getting a lot of complaints because they're renting space to them. But you know, all I'm going to say is that, listen, media should be on both camps and middle and outside of stream. So I welcome, if somebody's going to put that kind of money into a business that was a startup and is growing, why not? It doesn't matter. You know, we're apolitical because we're from Switzerland,
right.
And we always promote free speech, you know, which is a respectable free speech, right?
Right.
So,
well, and I always kind of felt like err on the side of free speech.
Yes.
Like, I understand maybe not everything should be on there, but, you know, it was inconsistent, I think, what was happening.
I think when you have a pendulum swinging too much to the right or to the left, I I wouldn't say it's a great for society.
Right,
You need
yeah.
to have a uniform, you need to have a blended. I mean, our company just opened a Rumble account. I've been asked for so long, I didn't even know what the thing was. And you have to go on YouTube, but you have to go on Rumble as well. If you are a company that's trying to communicate what you do, you need to go on all these platforms.
Yeah, I think so. So while we're talking about all this, let's talk about the elections, because we're getting close to midterm elections. They're going to be contentious. They already are. Very close, it looks like. But this is also prime time for hackers to come out. So, because people are paying attention. So what do you see for that?
So, you know, what we see is that if you get an email, for example, that says, I don't know, an article about, see, if you're on social media, which most people are, or even if you're on those big tech platforms like the free messenger, hackers know which political views you're going to have. It's not like they read, but they have machines that analyze. They have artificial intelligence that really know exactly what kind of food you like and who you're going to vote for. It's kind of scary. So you're going to be targeted, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, and to look at articles, to click on links. So I urge everyone not to do that. Make sure you check to see who's sending you the email. And you know, be very vigilant also with text. A lot of text phishing now, a lot of it. And also people impersonate other people on your messaging app. That happens, regardless election or not. But election, there's two events that really trigger things. First of all, financial, so a lot of refinancing, real estate transaction. And it's also during tax time. Your accountant is sending you something, but it's not your accountant. And now election. So we recommend you don't use those typical channels, and if you do, be very diligent about it.
Okay, thank you so much, Alon.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download Secure. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Thousands of people use Phantom every day to access DeFi, NFT, Metaverse, and GameFi decentralized applications. On Phantom, you can trade, lend, and borrow in a fully decentralized way with instant speed and near zero fees. Whether you're an artist or a collector, there's a rich and accessible NFT ecosystem to explore. Join your friends in the Metaverse for exciting digital experiences or play revolutionary Web3 games. Join Phantom today.
Soil organic matter offers several added benefits. It filters and cleans water, enhances water retention and storage, mitigates the impact of extreme weather, and improves soil structure to produce more feed, fiber, and food. Less land, less water, less energy, and fewer nutrient inputs. New biodiversity, carbon, and water markets are emerging, producing goods that enhance human and environmental health.
Auto Parts for Less is an online marketplace for auto parts, exactly what it's advertised to be. So with me, the founder and CEO, Christopher Davenport, to explain the company. And it's interesting, you call yourself a marketplace. That's a little different than e-commerce, right? So explain the difference.
Yeah, it's a little confusing when you, because the world in the world today of online sales, which is exploding. So you have single seller sites, traditional companies trying to sell their goods. A marketplace is two separate participants. You have the supply side, which are sellers, and the demand side, which are buyers.
Okay.
And that's a very different story, and it has powerful consequences and growth models and acceptance. Marketplaces benefit from what's called network effects, and this is really unique to digital marketplaces, where as more people join, it becomes more and more valuable. So more sellers, it's valuable to the buyers, more buyers are valuable to the sellers.
Right. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, and you achieve this momentum, a spin wheel effect, And at some point, it just kind of goes exponential. So they're very exciting models.
So you're bringing together buyers and sellers of auto parts, basically.
That's right.
Exactly what you're doing.
That's
okay.
exactly right. So we're the technology.
Okay, got it.
We coded
Okay.
the entire platform, so front end, back end. And so we don't sell, even though we're like, come to Auto Parts for Less and find whatever you're looking for. We don't do that. The sellers on the platform sell, and of course the buyers buy.
Okay. And then where did you come up with the idea? How did you come up with the idea for this?
So we were a single seller platform. Okay. So selling in a very niche market of Jeep, truck, and SUV parts, lift kits. In fact, we have an existing website, e-commerce website, liftkitsforless.com, but we're transitioning and going after a much, much larger market, which is the entire auto parts industry. Okay. And that includes boat, RV, power sports, anything and everything, electric, combustion, new, used, a one-stop shop for all your automotive part needs.
Okay.
And we're the first vertical to do that. Currently, Amazon, eBay, those are marketplaces, double-sided, but they're all things to all people, and that's a different experience. So,
who would you say your main customers are then? Would they be dealers or individuals?
So we use a lot of technology.
Okay.
So we have contracts with SureDone, a company called Channel Advisor, every company that we can access their sellers. CDK Global, $2 billion software company, they have all the OE dealers so that they can load their parts onto our platform. Anybody can come through technology and really through a seamless process get your parts onto our platform.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about competitors? Anybody else doing this? You said you were first mover, but
we are.
Okay.
Right. So we're the first dedicated multi-sided, double-sided platform serving this auto parts industry. So yeah, we're the first and off and running, and it's exciting. So I think we have right now in our queue about 3 million parts that are being loaded. So
yeah.
It's exciting. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Where could somebody go to find out more about the company, or if they're interested in being a customer, buyer, seller, or an investor?
Yeah, the website's Auto Parts for Less, just like it sounds. If you want to learn about investing us, we're OTCQB, and our ticker is FLES, and you can go to autopartsforlessgroup.com and check us out.
Okay, thanks so much, Christopher. Very interesting. Thanks.